Thanks, Charlie. I'm not sure my wife will allow you to be calling me that. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, you're
You got
VIP?
the VIP?
Claudia's mad at me too, because that's her table.
Hey, I'm not
All
a
these
squire.
personal problems.
I am a
understand
squire,
these,
I know. I'm not a
Okay,
squire.
we ready to roll?
It's all under contract.
Lock and load, rock and roll.
You left it
Right on the left, right on the
unattended,
right.
therefore it's gonna.
Yeah, man, full of boxes I gotta bring in. That's why I can't.
All right, run them. Camera action. Good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday, May 12th, 2015. As promised yesterday, I said we'd be back here, and we are. This is our regular scheduled meeting, half hour early, but it's pre-town, so it's light business today. And then we're off to the races again for a second town meeting of the night. So we're just gonna try to clean up some housekeeping and get a couple things done and catch you on the next round. Anybody have any changes or anything on the agenda, or?
No changes or additions from my corner.
Kim, all set?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You're not confident.
Yeah, no, I think at some point we need to talk about last night and a new strategy of town meeting, but yeah, we can
You
get
wanna
through
get
the
through this?
basics. Yeah, let's go through the basics.
All right, Troy, I guess you have anything? If you don't,
Yeah, I'm just gonna move to affirm the following warrants and bills. Payroll warrant number 92 for $329,799.98. Vendor warrant number 93 for $68,093.01. School warrant number 94, $180,916.52. And withholding warrant number 95, $122,707.16. And selectmen's bill dated April 28, 2015, payable to Ellis Auto Services, $1,726.48.
Second.
any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I move to approve the following warrant commitments. Vendor warrant number 96 for $15,410.35. Mobile home park fee number 5 for $5,160. And selectmen's bills dated May 12.
I am on the floor with this chair.
Yeah, what's the good that? I look taller than you.
And that's going some. Insurance recovery and revolving account, $1,923.61 for Ellis Auto. Repairs, Ford Explorer. Selectmen's expense, $30. Annual meeting municipal licensing corporation, June 9th.
That's for that's a workshop that the ABCC shows up at and does a lot of what's happened during the past year type of things. Pam's going to that.
Ooh.
That's her day out.
That's my day out, yeah.
And town report, $2,762 for Harry B. Harding and Sons. That's for the town report. Law account, Dush Williams, Attorney Lawrence Mayo, Michael Gilman, Epstein in August, Magic Bender. Miscellaneous fees, total of $3,084.75. Recruitment and employment, express newspaper, classified ad, 2 legal notices, total of $60. And that completes all
Second.
the reports.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Complete your presentation.
At this moment,
Charlie or Pam, you wanna go first?
I have nothing, Pam.
I
I
have
had a
4,
couple emails I didn't get to read, so maybe you can. You sent a couple emails?
Okay, I don't know which ones. I sent too many emails.
Well, there was 2 of them, maybe around 5:30. Go ahead, Pam.
okay, there are 4 road cuts, okay? I did give you guys copies, right, they're right in order.
33 Lake to install new service. This is crossing the street.
What's the test
Street
box?
Lingham, huh? This
Raised test box to grade? What-
33 Lake.
What they're doing is, last year they told me that they're doing a lot of work on the test boxes, and they're gonna be doing them throughout, you know, the spring and into the summer. It's just upgrading some of the boxes. It must be an overhaul they do maybe after so many years or something.
This is for who?
This is to Columbia Gas for
So this
like,
is-
road- yeah.
All four of them, they're doing the same thing for all four of these? These
Well,
are four different locations?
One of them is for 33 Lake Street, that is gonna be new service on that one. But
Oh, that's
the
why
other
that's-
ones are to remove the test box cover at Ocean Ave, to raise test box to grade at 3rd Street in Lincoln,
Which means it's below the level of the ground of the road at that point.
and then the other one is to remove test box cover at 11 Amy Street.
Just remove the cover? Why did they remove the cover? Without doing
Install
something.
new service. Well, the Lake Street's a new service.
No, it's
Cutting across the
Talk about
road.
Yeah.
number on 11th A Street.
Yeah, which is across, yeah. I used to live on Lake Street. I used to live right across from A Street. My very first house there.
Talk about your lonely days.
I don't know, I'm
still
getting a
have
headache
that.
looking at this thing.
You are the road cut guy.
Yeah.
I know. Who's gonna take over?
I know.
No, Tom might.
I got a pair of scissors.
I can't do it.
These are inspections.
It's not my area of expertise.
He's looked at the plan before.
Oh, right.
R2.
Oh, yes, because he gets them.
All right, well, road cut 33 Lake Street. Any, I don't see the papers where it says the police, the fire, the,
Oh, I have them all here.
Okay, so-
I was trying to save some paper, but everyone is all signed off on it.
okay.
You can
On
look
all,
them up if you
on all
want.
four?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Any of them have details or trench permits?
Trench permits on all of them.
They need trench permits on all?
Is that you?
Nope.
That's a little weird, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about
Is that an alarm
details.
clock going off?
Weird.
No police details.
Okay. All right, so any questions on the motion or?
Well, I would move that we grant the road openings for the gas company for 33 Lake Street, 9 Ocean Ave, 3rd Street and Lincoln Street, and road opening on 11 A Street. Hello?
Second. Oh, I thought you were saying hello to me.
No, he's talking to the person in the bathroom.
Oh,
Making noise.
So that was a second? Any
Yeah.
further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
you didn't even give me a chance.
Okay, I'm
to
passing
say
around, sign them off. What else we got?
And we just have, we have a line item transfer that I received today.
Police wages to police cleric.
So this is because,
Yeah. I think it's next.
Tony had
Tony
brought
was
up-
out.
Yes, Tony was out and they had to have someone just cover her. She was out on medical leave. I'll make a motion that we approve the line item transfer of
Is there more than one?
Yeah, no, I was just looking myself. Go ahead.
$1,857.97.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I
Aye.
walked out
The-
without my pen.
Did, yeah, did,
Oh, you need that one.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that was me.
no, no, this-
Oh,
Pam has a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the thing I gave the extra?
Thank goodness. I don't know, how we're in trouble. And I just broke this just in
Yeah,
case
just
those
say
people.
shut up.
Yeah,
Finance committee gotta approve that now?
Yeah, they'd be doing it also at the same time. It would have been the same way as we did yesterday with the 2 line items.
Two, three.
We need to affirm.
Yes, those are those road cuts, remember? They're for the work being done down at Halifax Trail, and we did them because we want to get the work done. So we just, I could have waited till the 26th, but I figured,
Yeah.
You're doing it.
I move that we affirm the road cut at 265 Monpont Street. Road opening. You have it listed twice.
Yes, one is for, one of them for Cook Contracting,
Oh, right.
he's the one that's doing,
May- oh, right.
one's for
May I-
gas, one's for, water.
Right, may I move both at the same time?
Yeah, yeah.
I will move both of those.
Troy, you want a second on, or a moment to talk, or? Those are the-
Second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, Monpont, and you had a finance committee emails you sent, 5:39, 6:07.
Yeah, one was on the state aid on the Senate budget, which isn't any change from the House budget except for about $100 in library aid.
Is that
That's-
what, I'm sorry, was that with new taxes being proposed? Because yesterday, this
I
is
didn't
fine?
see, I didn't
Oh,
see,
okay.
I mean, I don't know whether it included any new taxes. All I can tell you is the Senate local aid numbers are exactly the same as the House local aid numbers, aside from about $100 or so in library aid, which is a pass-through, so it doesn't change the budget at all.
You seem to be ahead this year, huh? With everything. The
Which-
90, the House, the Senate, the bills getting passed.
No, actually, the Senate usually does it about this week.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. The House was later than usual because the governor's budget was later than usual, because we had a new governor.
Oh.
And then the other one was on Ponce. It was simply, I sent it out to the working group because I had asked Aquatic Control Technologies for an update because we had 2 articles at the special town meeting yesterday that in case people ask questions about the status of the 2 projects, I'd have that information. So today I passed that information along to everybody in the Ponce working group, which is, the short of it is, well, they're looking to do the first steps of each project this month, by the end of this month. So they'll do the first of several aluminum sulfate treatments this month over in West Monpont Pond near the end of the month, and then East Monpont Pond using the herbicide on the invasive weeds. And I don't have dates yet, but I'll have, and we'll need dates because we'll need to tell Brockton, because I don't know what their diversion plans are, but we don't, as you pointed out, don't want a diversion occurring or a huge amount of water going over the
Especially in
dam
the
at the
West
same
Lake.
side.
Yeah, because we had a problem last time we treated, do we have a ton of rain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Diluted the material.
Yeah, it got all screwed up for
And
that
then
too.
we had talked about, or, you know, like I had come in and talked about doing instead of, you know, one major treatment that. we
Right,
would
and that's
be
the plan
staggered.
still.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, perfect.
Didn't- So what happened, how did you make out with Boston today?
It was fine. I mean, I got the 2 things. Oh, for my Ponce, it was fine. It took a while because the hearing was actually about 15 different bills, because this is the Natural Resources Committee, so they were handling snowmobile legislation and boat legislation along with Ponce and
You mean they didn't move us to the top of the list?
they did, no, they did, well, they moved Tom to, they handle all the state reps, of course, or state senators who were there in the room first, you know. Rank has its privileges.
No, they just want to get them out as fast as they can.
So I was there for an hour and a half or so waiting. But it was fine. I mean, our point simply is that the legislation doesn't change the ability of Brockton to take water from Ponce. What it does do is reemphasize the fact that they have to send water downstream every day, not just days that they're diverting, both for Stump Brook and for Jones River. And then second, that they have to balance everything off against the ecological significance for the areas around the ponds and the ponds themselves, not just Ponce, but Furnace and such.
Well, that makes sense, because it almost seemed like they were holding on to it in reserve, so when they needed to sell the water or whatever.
Well, they do it in the East Lake anyway. They pour from the West Lake and they hold it there until they needed to pump it out. I mean, in the reservoir, so.
That shouldn't be happening.
Whether the legislation passes
No.
is a different question, but it's another piece of the puzzle. I mean, the real thing would be for Brockton to step up and put some money down to
Right.
better the water quality. We'll see if that occurs.
Will they back this bill as well? As
I
everybody
doubt
else?
it. I doubt it.
Is it against,
I-
not in their best interest to do
I
that?
would say it's not in their best interest to do that.
But is it the right thing to do?
It's the right thing to do.
So,
Was anybody from Hanson there?
No, the only other person who, besides Tom, who was there was Pine Dubois.
did she get a chance to speak?
Oh, she was much near the beginning because she got there early and it's a sign-up list and you get an order of sign-up. So she spoke.
Oh, good. And they listened.
Yep.
think they listen. They look like
They
listen.
definitely listen.
Yeah, she's a very strong advocate.
Yeah, that's how I would put it
I've been
too.
in the room with her when she speaks.
So and the other thing was, there's a possibility of getting a grant to help fund the Hops Playground. And I was there in the morning for that session. And there's still possibly there's a lot of work to get done. You know, to get an open space plan done, which is why I have the survey insert, because that's part of doing the open space plans, we have to do the survey. And then there's a grant application itself, we'll see where we can do it.
How much do you think we're gonna be able to bag out of that?
More probably up to $50,000. Wouldn't hurt. But technically, we're eligible for a lot more than that, but it's unlikely because we don't have public transportation near the site. We're not in an environmental justice area, brownfields, things like that. So we lose points for all that, but
Did you tell them we were near a swamp in the back?
big swamp.
Just a couple of housekeeping questions about town meeting. So if the odds of us finishing up tonight are pretty slim.
I would say more than likely, yeah. And the way the dialogue went yesterday and how long it took for things to happen, my bet is, given we've still got 58 articles, not including the budget, and we're going to revisit the budget almost certainly,
Yeah, so have we talked about,
I would go Wednesday
okay.
rather than Monday, but that's going to be up to you all and the meeting and the moderator and such.
Yeah, because you don't know if people are gonna be totally burnt out if they're
Well,
going
yeah,
at
for
11
2
o'clock
days.
2 nights in a row. That's the only
I mean, we
thing.
went 3 straight last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we banged out on them early because somebody called quorum.
Not on either of those 2 nights, the first 2 nights, because we had,
Was that, not the
No.
first night, I thought it was the second night.
Yeah, it said somebody has to quorum.
it was pretty close to 11 o'clock one way or the other.
Was it?
So you have no feedback ahead of time?
I've not talked to John or,
Okay.
Thunderstorms,
Hola.
thunderstorms coming through Quincy, 7:45.
Hi.
Sorry, nope, not you.
yeah,
Gee, I feel warm and fuzzy.
That's hurtful.
Are they looking for,
Okay, what else you got there, young
Okay,
lady?
so the other thing I want to just talk about, and I know it's sort of late for this budget season, but I do think it's important for the Board of Selectmen to have a stand on articles and to be asked that, because I feel like we are the policy makers of the town, and that people should be looking at the Board of Selectmen for direction and not just the Finance Committee. So I think it's a little late in the game for us to be asking the moderator to ask us about recommendations, but I think that that's something that we need to start doing, just because I feel like, we need to take a stronger role, because I think, I mean, people do look to us and for our opinions, and
I
so.
could have used it a couple town meetings ago.
Yeah,
Some
it's-
more help.
yeah, it's just, so my question, there's gonna be a couple of things that may be asked of us, and it came up today during a conversation with the superintendent and the feelings on the Silver Lake budget on the Board of Selectmen, and so if we're asked, then, I personally, I think Troy and I both voted to keep, and I think you abstained, but we voted to keep the budget as printed, and so if I'm asked to speak on it, I don't know if you want me to get up and go to the mic, or do you want me to speak as the Board of Selectmen? I just sort of wanted
well, I
some
would say that
direction.
if you could vote right now
Yeah.
and say, we're going to recommend the reconsideration, we're going to recommend the original figure, or you can say otherwise. And then once you've done that, sit at the table. You've got
Are we talking
What am I-
about a specific?
We're talking about Silver Lake.
It's
We're
just
talking about
like
that we have-
operating budget.
Right, so I would like to move that we support the originally printed budget of the Silver Lake, the previously agreed upon number of the Silver Lake School Committee budget.
Yeah, I'm not up on it as much as I'd like to be, so I'm not, that's why I didn't
Yeah,
stand
no
up
worries,
last
I
night.
just wanted to just get,
It was interesting to hear it. It's kind of scary in a way.
The same thing, I look at it this way. We just voted a raise that's gonna be carried on the books forever. It's not going down, we just voted 1% raise. That's gotta be dealt with next year's budget, doing any changes. Everything that we voted is still gonna be carried over.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so the school budget is just one other item on the list that we get enough to cover it this year, and we'll deal with it next year. If we can't do it, then we want to push harder.
Right.
What we do this year doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to change what the school has to do, because they still may get special needs kids, and somebody else come in, vocab school come in, and another $300,000-$400,000. Who the hell knows? Or they might lose some kids. So,
Okay, so
I mean,
if,
it was almost, sorry,
oh
I mean, it was almost, what they were saying, our numbers drop. So it's artificially, it was brought back up, even though it looks low, it's artificially
no, that's true.
high. And I think that's what some of his point was, that, you know, it's not really what it seems, that maybe they're, no, I'm not aware of it. I haven't looked at any hard facts or any sheets or anybody's talked to me about it. So I have a difficulty deciding
No, I understand. Go
between the
ahead.
two.
Yeah, go
And I
ahead.
think that's, it's really, it's a tough thing to even,
I'll be honest with you, I was surprised that T. Gordon didn't do that, because I sat in, I was had my hand in the door at the meeting where he said, he voted the budget.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been the member of the finance committee that struggled with it, to be honest with you. And he does bring up some excellent points. I don't necessarily agree with the way it happened at town meeting, but, you know, we have to think about what do we want our schools to look like right now? And again, I shared his concern about minimum contribution and that number not being correct, but I think hopefully it'll stick. You know, the whole issue with Plimpton's minimum contribution, the formula, forget the budget.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about the assessment. So I share a lot of those concerns, but at the end of the day, the school budget is not an outrageous budget. And so I just, you know, I don't mind getting up and
The way he
speaking.
was put to me last night, and this was 1 o'clock in the morning, I talked to a friend of mine on the phone. He says, well, it's sort of like this. Unless you got a 3-tire car and one of the tires gets flat, do you wait until the other tires get flat before you, because
Yeah.
you don't fix this tire because you think the other's gonna get flat sometime in the near future?
If you want, Mike, I could just say, I'm not saying I'm gonna speak, it depends on how it starts going. But if it seems like I need to speak, if you want, I could say, the Board of Selectmen had a majority vote on it, you know,
I just don't think we have the facts.
well.
Myself to
yeah,
weigh in.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I mean, this should have been brought up sooner. It sounds, you know, he sounds convincing. Of course, anybody walking up to the mic sounds convincing if they're passionate about anything, really, whether it is or isn't. So it's hard to support something that, you know, I really need, I would like to see where you're coming up with, where is this coming from? I can't
Well,
just,
the time that's necessary to do the research is not there, and I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, and I've always felt that it's necessary for the financial team, being ourselves and the finance committee, everything, should be on the same page. I feel like we're ambushed.
well, they're
Yeah.
not always on the same page.
No, I
even
understand that, but
themselves.
so if you want, I can point out, like I can say, the Board of Selectmen voted 2-1 with 1 abstaining, or I can just get up and speak as a selectman or a resident from, but if it comes up, I feel like I need to talk about it, because I just feel like the town meeting should look at the Board of Selectmen. I know we're not the school committee,
No,
but
I
on certain
understand.
items, I do feel like we need to come off as, you know, the way that we feel, since
Well,
we,
on a lot of, not
Yeah.
just this, but a
Yes.
lot of them, we should be
Yes.
saying, we've had several meetings, or we've
Yes.
had meetings, we've sat down, we've
Yes.
listened to the parties, and the board has voted
yeah,
this.
yes, that's my
I
point.
mean, and that should be more articles than just
Yes.
some of the hot button ones. That should be a lot of, because we've had discussions on a lot of these articles, and we have voted, and we're not even
But that's,
presenting that.
that's why I almost wanna.
I mean, it was slow meeting down a little bit, but
Yeah, but I almost, I think it's probably too late for us to dare, but I do think that next year going forward, that it should be Finance Committee, Board of Selectmen's recommendation, and then
Well,
the
they
Finance
have
Committee
always done
recommendation.
it in the past, it's just
But
recently.
this moderator, they don't do
ahead.
that, but I think, it's not John's fault, we haven't really pushed the issue, but
Well,
I
John,
think it's something
in all
that we
fairness
should
to
think about.
John, who was with us last night, he did let things get a little out of hand when people start getting very personal up there, that might.
Well, he ended up shutting it down, though, I
He
mean,
shut it down, but
yeah, one
the
ran
damage
and
was done.
one was able to run, and then the other one piggybacked and that one was shut down.
Well, I just, again, I just wanted to bring it up to say that,
Right,
you know,
but
I'm
we're not
gonna
gonna
be.
kick you off the board if you say
Okay, thank you.
keep your
I
peace.
appreciate that.
You know, at least not in the public eye.
And then one other thing I want to bring up, just because I'm assigned to that article, which is the Article 8, which is the lieutenant's position. You know, Charlie, I understand why you wanted to bring it to town. You know, John did talk a little bit, he was sort of surprised that it was
Right.
on the warrant. So we've already signed this agreement with the union.
Contingent upon
Okay.
approval at town meeting.
Okay, all
The
right.
stipulation was specifically in the agreement that was signed.
Okay, thank you. I just
And
wanted to verify.
I felt badly. I talked to Swanson afterward for a minute. He was still really rough. I said, the way you was presented, maybe your intent was one, but the person that presented it, Mr. Rogers, when he presented it, was misleading because he said it was going to, the way I accepted it was that that person was only going to get paid that $1.50 if you, say if you worked the third shift, or if you're out of town or you're not available, then he take over responsibility. You didn't say
Yeah.
40 hours and or you changed that, and I think that's why people went the way they did, because they felt like they were being misled.
Yeah,
I don't think the finance committee picked up on it either.
Well, because, and the reason was that when we were meeting, the finance committee was meeting that Monday, same time wage and personnel was meeting. So there was no opportunity for any discussion.
Crossover.
between the two
Yeah,
groups.
and that was last minute. First they weren't gonna do it, and they decided at the last minute they were gonna do it. Yeah, because I thought that was off and they came
Yes.
back on.
we should probably see if we have quorum now. It's almost 7:30.
We don't.
You don't think?
Yeah, we will, but,
You really think we're gonna be back here tomorrow?
Yeah.
well, it's either tomorrow or next Monday.
Well, to put it this way, we may be back here tomorrow, not necessarily the townspeople will be back tomorrow.
I think it'd be hard to ask people to come 3 nights, but.
Well, we've done it before, I mean.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We
Well,
can-
whatever third night it is,
Yeah.
it's gonna be different.
Yeah,
We've run into that problem before.
Well, the board would have an opportunity to say to the people, we realize this is taking, the process is taking a little longer than ever, but we would appreciate you all to come up and
Yeah.
let's finish up the town's business.
Yeah, yeah.
So that we can go in
Yeah,
operation.
right. I mean, next Monday's fine with me.
all right, we're gonna go over there. Yeah. I just cut that.
Well, it's just I'm getting hammered.